Okay. Make sure the sound's good. Everyone say something.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
That's good. I can't tell if the sound is working. Someone want to check?
Yeah, it's working.
Is it? We're good? We're all live
I'm
and
very echoey though.
Ooh.
Is it the cave show again?
Oh, you're echoey too.
Here, let's see if I can fix that.
Am I echoey?
It's the cave cast.
Yay!
Here. I think I can fix that.
You just start with like, now we moved the headquarters into a cave.
Alright. Okay.
You got out of the cave right as we finished, or you finished that sentence.
I think we're good. Should be good now, right? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, back in the cave.
God damn it. Well, we're filming from our secret lair tonight, I guess. The great cave underneath the walk that is the bridge that is under... I've said too much.
You can't give that information.
People can find us now, John. They'll try to kick us out from our bridge.
Use my code name. Holy Christ.
Oh.
You need to fix your your things. Everything that's going on there. But without further ado, the Villains Talk Show with your host C4, Sarah Vike, Insanieac, Sir Jeremy, and the Great Grease Goblin. We're back. Hello and welcome to the Villains Talk Show, where we talk about villainy and horrible other things, and really it's just a talk show. It's just a talk show. It's nothing special. I'm here with, as always, my co-host Sarah Vike. That's when you say something. There you go.
Yes.
Sir Jeremy.
Hello.
The Great Grease Goblin.
Hello.
Oh, thank God. I was hoping that wasn't going to be an assault to my ears. And Insanieac, who usually is here, but we don't know where he is. He's off doing villainy on another...
Villainy and acquiring a vehicle.
Holy.
Oh, that's the most villainous thing of all.
Yes. Yes.
That makes his villainy much easier.
Wow.
Yeah.
Turn you down way more.
Mobile villainy.
Yeah, it's better. Oh, man.
Villainy Incorporated.
Yes, because we will pollute the air. Pollute it all with all the automotive travel. That's the plan.
Or we could pollute it with oxygen.
As always, join the Faceless Legion. Get the app. There's no social media. There's just the app. Likeness.com.
You don't need anything else, really.
You really don't. Not anything else in your life. Today's topic is hacking. Not really just hacking. I was thinking about it today, because everyone, or actually it was from our last cast, we were talking about the Game Shark, and we were talking about cheat codes and stuff, and the more you think about it, there's things called life hacks, but I'm not gonna say everyone does little things that cut corners, or they do little things that make life easier. And even video games, people will blatantly download hacks because it makes the game easier, and not because they're professionals, although professionals do it. But that's kind of the essence of what I want to talk about. Like, because if you go on Skyrim, for God's sake, and just go into console commands and make yourself a god, everyone does that. If you do an exploit, like in a game that's online, like a certain guy that we all watch, shout out to the Spiffing Brit.
No, I don't watch it.
He except Sarah, because Sarah's normal. Um,
No, I'm really not.
but yeah, he just finds exploits in games and sometimes in sales and stuff, and then shows the world how to exploit it to the point of ridiculousness. And like, and in some cases, like obviously when people do these things on a large scale, either cheat the system, we'll say, or for example, going back to my video game reference, going to professional gaming and actually using an aimbot, like obviously that's not accepted and it's morally wrong. But at the same time, like I don't pay for streaming services, but I watch everything the day it comes out, and I don't download it either. I'm not going to say what I use, but I have never had a problem. Ever. I've never bought any of that crap. And I've like the longest I've ever waited is a day. And that's just something I understand, like it's morally wrong, but socially accepted. And that's today's topic. Thoughts. Please.
Can't say that word here.
Cascade me with thoughts.
Only Cade's offended by that.
Some people are offended by that.
Villain names, please.
Well,
Villain names.
Too bad.
We have to
We
keep
have to call him the Grease Goblin.
our identities at least somewhat
Code
hidden.
names.
Code names. There you go. Code names, please.
Code name.
Please.
But yeah, like I live in the morally ambiguous area of all this. I mean, like I understand when something is pushing it too far, obviously, but at the same time, I can't say I haven't cheated. I mean, I can't say I don't have a second Steam account that doesn't, like, I haven't been on in years because I don't play games anymore. But every so often I'd be like, fuck it, fuck you, Counter-Strike. I'm gonna download an aimbot on my banned account. Oh, what? The VAC ban for 4 years is up? Looks like I'm aimbotting for 3 days before they VAC ban me. That was good. And then go back to my regular account and just play. But for 3 days, I was the aimbot god and made my life. But at the same time, like, there's a lot of people who will look at that and will they won't be happy. But I mean, we all do it. Like, I'm okay. Can't say everyone does it because Sarah's the reason why she's here. Because she's the living dichotomy. Can never say everyone because that's the whole point you're here.
I see.
To make my life hell.
She says she has cheated.
What?
I
You have said you've cheated before, though.
Yeah.
oh
It's the Grease Goblin.
I'm sorry, Grease Goblin. It's really your preferred.
well, let's open the floor.
Not at all. It
Uses that as the
works.
comparative.
we can I call him GG. GG works.
Yeah.
But all right, Sarah.
You not want your name said?
No, we're in the secret hideout now.
We're in the secret hideout now. Okay.
All right,
Well, that's
Sarah.
unfortunate.
Tell
Yeah,
us
what?
about your cheating experience. You've opened the floor.
What did I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what Keaton's talking about. The Grease Goblin, I'm sorry. What have I cheated on? I've watched plenty of things that I did not have access to.
I mean, the best example you and
Yeah.
I share, Sarah, if I can help you with this, is you helped me cheat my way into booze.
Yes, that is true.
You gave me
That is very
me
true.
tickets that were not for the said event, and then I took said tickets and went up to said bar and got a plethora of drinks for free.
It wasn't a plethora, it was like 2.
The plethora is like 3 or 4. I got about 3.
I'm pretty sure it was only like 2.
It doesn't
Wow.
matter. I got
So,
those drinks
anyways.
for free because of you helping
Anyways,
me. You aiding
what
and
John
abetting
is-
my cheating. I
What
cheated
John
the
is
system.
referring to is that we were both at an event, and I was running the sales for like tickets for drinks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were.
He came up to me and annoyed me until I gave him. Someone had brought some in and handed them to me and said, "Hey, these are from another event. I don't really know what to do with them, and I don't want to get them mixed up with the ones from this because they're slightly different. So here you go, have them, and throw them out or something." And I was like, "Okay." And John came up to me and tried to annoy me for free drinks, and I finally gave in and said, "Here, you can have these ones." Someone else handed them in. The bartender may or may not take them. The bartender did take them.
Yep.
He got drinks. It actually turned out really lucky for me that for some reason things still worked out. Maybe someone didn't. I think maybe someone had bought a drink or two that they hadn't redeemed because they actually counted at the end of that night, and everything turned out okay. It matched perfectly, but I was very close to getting in a lot of trouble for that.
See? Morally wrong, but subtly justified.
Was it?
Was it? Would you do it again?
Would I do it again? Actually, probably not, because now I have the information that they were going to count it at the end of the night.
They're Scotsmen. Of course they're going to count it. It was a Scottish
well.
ball. There's a reason why they call us penny pinchers. I'm sorry. There is credence to that.
I'm only a tiny bit Scottish, so I mean, it just didn't mean as much to me, you know?
And those free drinks meant everything to me. That was a whole, like $12 I saved? It's fucking freaking
Probably,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. But,
They're really expensive.
I mean, we went to school. Did you ever cut corners in assignments? I like, oh my god, do I have a story about that. Holy.
Not really. I am always afraid of being found out. That's the thing that keeps me from doing stuff. is the fear
Oh,
of
I
being
don't
found
mean
out.
I don't mean copying assignments. That's just blatant cheating. I do not
absolutely.
support that.
No, I mean, I had
I did a lot of hard work for my
way of cutting
degrees.
corners in assignments in university. We would hand everything in as links to Google Docs, and she would hand it in, but not share it with the teacher. And by the time the teacher actually went to market, or she would keep working on it because she wasn't done yet. And by the time the teacher actually went to market and had to request access for it, she would be done. So she got herself extra hours to work on stuff all the time, and it always worked out for her. But I never did that because I was afraid of getting caught and also finished my assignments on time. I got caught cheating on a test once when I was in grade 5. I wrote the answers on my hand. But I feel like that's mostly just sad because I was afraid my parents would be mad if I didn't do well. I did not get caught cheating on tests literally every week in grade 7.
Ooh.
Yeah. we had spelling tests, but they were combination spelling and vocabulary tests. So we had a definition and we had to write down the word and spell it right. And if you got 90% or higher, you got cookies. And I really wanted the cookies, so I always cheated. I didn't need to.
How did you cheat?
Those are the things that I
But
found
see,
out.
no one's going to get mad at you for cheating for cookies.
This is the dark side. We all like cookies.
I cheated, Caden, by the paper that we had to study from. I just put it under my desk between my feet, and I just looked at it when I wasn't sure of the answer.
So really,
I
you
don't
just
know why I didn't
outsmarted
get
the
caught.
teacher.
I have no clue how she didn't catch me. It
You
was
just
so
outsmarted
obvious.
her. You just outsmarted her, Sarah.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, in school, when I was in university, I went to, I had an astronomy class because I forgot to do my goddamn general educations. So I'm fourth year student.
Words.
23 years old, and I'm like, oh, I just want to finish my degree. Oh no, I have all my general eds to do. And so I do this stupid astronomy class. And the professor worded he worded on the syllabus that you had to do 10 labs, and he would drop the lowest mark of the 10 and you would get the high mark of the 9, right? And so I read that and I realized that the 10th lab was worth like 30% of our mark. And it was actually something we had to do for like the entire fucking 4-month class. But it said on the syllabus he would take the lowest mark and drop it. So I did the other 9 labs. And on the last day of class, everyone's handing in these massive booklets. And I'm just sitting there with nothing. I'm just sitting there, nothing. And he comes over and he's like, oh, where's your lab? I'm like, I didn't do it. And he's like, it's worth like 30% of your mark. I'm like, no. See, I got that. You're just going to give me my full 30%. And he looked at me and goes, why would I do that? And I'd be like, and I showed him the syllabus and I'm like, it says, you're going to drop the lowest mark, which is my 10th lab, because I got a 0 on it. And you're just going to give me full marks, because I got 100% on all the other 9. And this guy blew a goddamn gasket. It was so fucking funny.
Oh my goodness.
He took me to the student association and they backed me, and I'm like, that's right, you son of a bitch. And I literally did no work. Like the other 9 labs were just cakewalks. It was so funny. I have never had so much fun cheating someone out of percent for my shitty English degree I don't use. But on the reverse of that, I was a really educationally challenged kid in junior high and in elementary school. And because I always had like, I must have had ADD. I was undiagnosed because I couldn't sit still and I couldn't pay attention. And in grade 9, they had the provincials. For people in America who don't know what that is, it's like every 3 years.
It's a standardized test.
Yeah, it's like the SATs, but we do it every 3 years because we're mean to our kids.
More we don't.
But in grade 9, so I was getting ready for my provincials. And so my mom, God bless her heart, she sat with me and studied with me in my 2 worst subjects, which were science and math. And I did my math one. I got like, I don't know, I got like 80%. It was higher than I expected, which was really nice. But I did my science one. And I remember I'm outside hanging out with my other friends. And I get called in. And I get called into the office. And in there is just me, my principal, my vice principal, and my science teacher. And they look at me, and without even asking me anything, they're like, how'd you do it? And I look at them and go, what are you talking about? How'd you do it, Jonathan? We know you cheated. And I just look at them and go, excuse me? And they just start, like, I'm a 15-year-old kid, and they just start laying into me thinking I cheated on this test. And I look at them, and when I finally realize what they're saying, I'm like, you know what? And I honestly said this. I'm like, fuck you, and fuck you. Call my fucking parents, you fucking pricks. And they sat me out of the office. They're fucking furious. My parents show up. Tell my parents. My parents ask what I got. I got 99%.
Whoa, that's awesome.
And all I hear from inside the office as I'm sitting outside is my mom going, are you fucking kidding me? And I've never heard my mom fucking swear in my life. And she just starts screaming at these people. My dad sits her outside and I hear him very stern. You're the dumbest fucks you've ever. And it just lays into them. And yeah, because I studied with my mom for that whole week. So she knows I worked hard. It was really funny. But no, I was accused of cheating, and it was one of the best ways to walk out of that goddamn school.
I bet.
Also, you know how they do those rooftop photos?
What?
Some schools, I know my school does, like every year they do a rooftop photo of like the entire school.
Oh, yeah.
That rooftop photo that year, I did the double birds. Right in the back row. And the best thing was when they unveiled it and they give everyone a copy. It's so beautiful. It's so perfect. I still have a copy of it. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Just little fucking 9-year-old me in the back going like this. And it's just so prevalent. It's so good.
You're not a 9-year-old if you were in grade 9.
Sorry, 15-year-old me. Grade 9. I get confused.
I thought he was pretty advanced.
Oh, it's pretty funny.
You were probably 14.
Yeah, that's kind of... Other than that, I didn't really cheat in school. I was... At that point, like, I learned that my disadvantages were math and science. So I just tried to do as best I could in those subjects. And otherwise, I cruised through social and English. That's why I went to get an English degree. So, you know, that's the one thing I could always do was spell. Woohoo. Such a useless skill. Useful. Sorry, I meant useful skill.
I can spell really well. I've always been able to. I used to win spelling bees all the time. It was great.
And now you just teach math.
Not just math.
Only math, nothing else.
But yeah.
No. Not really.
And that's basically what it kept to school. I mean, and I've cheated to jobs. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I've fudged my resume. Who hasn't? Like, seriously. Other than Sarah. I keep Sarah out of every time I say who hasn't. But
Okay, John. You think that I am so much better than I am. You really do.
I guess.
Oh,
He
yeah.
holds you at a higher point than he holds himself.
Higher esteem.
Yes.
Yes, yeah,
Hold me at a
yeah.
higher
Is it
esteem
so
than
wrong
I'm
that I
actually
hold you
doing.
at a higher esteem?
Oh, no, I'm fine with
A
it.
higher
You just-
standard.
I think, you think, let's put it in D&D terms. You think that I'm good. I'm not. I'm just lawful.
Yeah.
Not
compared to my
anything.
compared to my chaotic, that's
Yeah.
as good as you're gonna get. But okay, well, but still, okay, so then the point is fudging, like, you know what I mean though. You write
Yeah.
something on your resume, it's not exactly true. And then, you know, it's not like they're going to do a deep dive of your entire goddamn life. So,
I haven't really fudged your resume just because I've never really had much of a reason to. I think most things I've applied to have been pretty straightforward. I either do or don't have the qualifications, so.
what about you, Sir Jeremy? You ever
I was gonna
fudged?
say no. I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
I've always I have long histories with places, and I usually leave on mostly good terms.
Grease Goblin, you got me coming back on this? Or am I the only degenerate that fudges
Fortunately,
a
I
resume?
have never actually fudged my resume. I have made it sound better than it is, though. Like,
You know what? I'll take that. I'll take that because I'll take that over being the dirtiest one here. We both can wallow in our crap together. Please tell me
no.
how you made yourself look better.
I can actually pull up my resume right now and read it out to you.
Can you really?
Are you sure you want to though, Caden? On the internet?
That is also
Do it.
true.
Do it.
Purposes.
I will read points of it. I won't read places.
Smart.
That's fine, yes. And please leave your name out.
I'm not telling you my address either.
That's a good idea.
How about your email?
Old addresses could be
Phone
hilarious.
number?
But please, read.
I'm trying to open it. My laptop's being dumb.
Is it the laptop or is it the user?
It's definitely the laptop. It's getting me to sign into a bunch of things that I don't need to sign into.
That's odd.
For this one won't really have any merit now, but this was this part is from like my first job in the kitchen industry, and it was working professionally and cautiously with a Forno oven exceeding temperatures of 260 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
So
Putting out food with the utmost care and precision.
So wait, you're saying you fudged those? This is what I'm understanding.
I said I made it look better than it was.
Okay. I just wanted that to be clear. Just wanted to understand what I'm hearing. You're making yourself look prettier. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, just add a little bit of mascara. I got it.
Exactly.
The underlying beauty's still there. You're just accentuating.
Exactly.
Of course.
Got it. I got it.
Following health code standards to keep the kitchen copacetic.
Copacetic. That's
Listen.
quite a word.
Do I ask you to define copacetic, or do I just trust you know what that
can.
means? Please continue.
It means in excellent order.
You used a thesaurus for that one.
I did.
Oh, please continue. No, are you done?
I'm looking. I'm trying to see what else I made pretty.
Are you trying to curtail what you're telling me now?
I'm trying to find stuff that's pretty instead of like assisting in cleanliness of the kitchen.
See, what I mean is like, I applied a job I have no experience at. I'll put like, yeah, I had experience at this job doing this. Not that it's netted me any more jobs than I have. I mean, working at Starbucks, woohoo. And then I did construction for a bit with my university degree. That was a real eye opener. Where's Jan when you need him? You can always relate.
Yeah. I mean, he loves what he does now, so there's that.
But then we're talking about big examples, like I was talking at the beginning about games and stuff. Like, a lot of people will just cheat at games for a better experience, or like because in one sense I want to say it's no harm no foul, but at the same time, I know, I mean, anyone who plays an online game will know that there's people who cheat online all the time. And although generally it's not accepted, it's an entire community. Like, people just do it. So obviously, I say it's accepted by negligence, because the more that we don't interact with it in a way that says that it is bad, the more we just accept it, which isn't just acceptance. Isn't it just acceptance? Blah, I ran out of breath on that. Isn't it just acceptance? This is when someone answers me and I don't just look into the void.
No, it's not.
Thank you.
Just look into the void.
Why do you think it is not? Gigi.
You know, we don't have Andrew tonight, so I was trying to be the passive-aggressive person tonight.
But you couldn't do it. Yeah, I know. You really miss his presence when
I do. It's so sad.
I know.
There's like this big passive-aggressive void in my heart.
I know. But, I don't know. What about you, Sir Jeremy? You play a lot of games.
I don't know. I was always the type that played them on the hardest difficulty without even trying to cheat. I found it made the challenge better. So I guess I'm kind of a masochist that way. But
That's why they invented Dark Souls, right?
God of War, but
But you said earlier today that your brother used to.
Yeah, it was like Grand Theft Auto, for example, right? That was a game I used to play for the story, but he used to play for the glitches, bugs, and hacks. It's like a game that was like so big that you could enjoy it kind of two different ways, and there, you'd never even play the story. You just fuck around and like certain parts to do his stupid shit, right?
Did it grind your gears at all or anything, or?
I don't know, not really. I guess like that's how I learned. Everybody has their own style of like how you play a game. It's not meant to be played like one way.
Because I have
It was just cause for me.
You mean just cause?
Yeah.
Why does this work in this game? Just cause.
I just enjoyed hooking things up with the zip line and sending them out flying with the like rocket mines.
But that's not.
And being Antonio Banderas is pretty cool too.
But that's not cheating. That's playing within the confines of the game. I'm talking about like.
Oh, and then also just the hack servers were fun.
Like, I'm talking about like going on Brood War, back in the late '90s, and putting in oh god, I used to know all of them.
Black Sheep Wall.
Black Sheep Wall, show me the money. Oh, there's so many good ones, and you had to be careful. Like, if people didn't know them, you had to like work them into sentences somehow so they made sense. They wouldn't know you were hacking, and all of a sudden you have unlimited minerals and just stupid amounts of tech, and you're like, "Hey, I just won this game again."
How is this?
Because if I play online, usually I lose all the time.
Yeah, I'd always try them, but I never like tried to like play serious games with them. But like Age of Empires and stuff, I can't remember what it was. Summoning the car with rockets on it, like it was stupid.
Wrath of the Gods was best. Gave you unlimited god powers. So you pick Zeus and he's just lightning everything all the time.
That sounds.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I have the cheat book from like 2003 somewhere in my basement.
Cheat book. Oh my god, I remember cheat books. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I was gonna pick up Valhalla, but I've already watched 2 videos on it about cheating.
Oh really?
Well, yeah, like the Spiffing Brit has released 2 videos on how to beat Valhalla. Like, just break the game within minutes. And then all of a sudden you have unlimited stats and unlimited money. It's like, I want to buy it, but I know deep down inside me, like, I'll play it, like, sure, I'll play it legit for a little bit, you know, but immortality makes me happy.
Now, what's funny about when he does things though is it's like within the confines of the game. It's not like he's inputting hacks and stuff.
But it's still breaking the game.
It is absolutely still breaking the game, but he does it like within the parameters of the game. That's like one of his big rules.
But he also, like, when
Which
he does
is
it for the
hilarious.
Steam sale, like, how many Steam sale videos does he have where it's nothing about gameplay? It's all about literally breaking the Steam sale, making infinite amount of real money. Oh, hello. Thank you, Matt Griffin, for following. You're awesome. If you want to join the conversation, just type something. Madrigalfin. Oh my god, you're going to make me pronounce this damn name. Madrigalfern. Madrigalfern. I'm going to get that one day.
Over and over?
Is it Madrigalfern? I don't know.
Just trying to intimidate them into speaking.
I don't know. But
Until their words appear off the...
But yeah, like, Spiffing, like, he broke the Steam sale, and he didn't do it, but he basically showed everyone how you can make infinite amounts of real money at the fucking Steam sale. And like, part of my mind was like, there's no way this goes through. Once this video goes live, like Steam will be hot to it. It'll never happen. But at the same time, part of me wanted to try it. Be like, I could run away with $100 for random. That'd be hilarious. It sounds to me like a conversation about the theology of the commons. I have never heard of that. That's unusual because I'm very savvy with my philosophy.
That's unusual. Oh, John.
Well, looks like I'm doing the old cursory YouTube wiki search. What is it? Theology of the commons. The commons. What is this? Theology commons. No, this is just some dumb site. That was bunch of faith work. Not saying anything bad against religion. It's just not exactly what I expected. But I mean,
you looked up the word theology, so.
Oh, that's right. I never heard of that, theology of the commons. One foundation. What the hell? What are you trying to do? Grand Canyon University.
That's what popped up for me when I looked it up.
Yeah, me too. I see. But I hear what you're saying, Jeremy. He breaks it within the confines of the game, but that's still cutting corners. That's still cheating. I mean, it's still technically, although it's
exploiting, but under the same frame.
But at what point does that become, like, for us right now, talking about this one thing, we both agree it's okay to do that within the confines, but why? What point does that line cross for us, and why does it cross? It's so like I've been thinking about it all day. Like, at what point does that line become too much, and why? What braces us to say, oh, if I did it outside the confines of the game, oh, that's just not fair. But if you do the same thing within the confines of the game, even though it's more complicated, do we award the fact that it takes more trial and tribulation to actually do it in the inside the confines of the game, and therefore they can be awarded with cheating? Like, is cheating a reward? Did GoldenEye break us all that we have to earn cheats so that we could have big giant bobbleheads on the giant enemies that we're fighting?
Yes.
Right?
What?
You don't know what he's talking about?
No. She would have no idea.
It's great.
Yeah, that's too funny. You had to do so well in each level on like a hard difficulty or better, and do specific like things, and then you would earn like a cheat that you could use. And I found that was like you earned it, right? So I understand why people were using it. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But in some cases, like multiplayer especially, like, I guess, you know what, though, the better way to say it for multiplayer is that kind of defines the meta and why the game usually doesn't survive if the developers don't continuously change the game.
It's also the attention span of today's society. We're going to call her Madry. Your name will now be Madry. Madry Fern.
Why not just Fern?
Fern. All right, Fern. Fern says, the theology, I forgot the name, it's about a problem of common area that everyone has access to and everyone can use it. But as soon as someone uses a bit more than their fair share, everyone else takes more than their fair share and it ruins the common area. The common analogy is the pasture of cows. Oh! Like the four... Okay. I can explain that. That makes a lot of sense, actually. I could actually draw it. This is like the most easiest This is basic politics 101 for everyone. I'm about to pull out my little draw pad here. So, what Fern has delightfully explained for us is the most easy. Anyone who's watching this has probably seen this 1,000 times before, and I will describe it. So, one has an X, one has an O, XO, XO. Super simple. Alright, so you have this pad. And there's no way you can see it because my pen is not dark enough. That sucks. Well, that's pointless. Well, that was a waste of time. But what it essentially is...
Alrighty then.
Oh, wait, no, I have a thicker marker. Haha, the day can be saved. So what essentially is you have four corners. One has an X, two have X and O, and one have O. The X and the O are represented by two different people. Okay? And the point of the picture is, if you are the X, you have two choices in any given situation. You can make a decision that only gives you the benefit, but you get twice the benefit. So put another little X times 2 in brackets there. And the same with the O. If the O picks for themselves, they get twice the benefit. Okay? But if the O and the X decide to take equal share, then neither of them lose out. Because if X just picks for himself, then O gets nothing. And if O picks for himself, then X gets nothing. But if they both pick for themselves, everyone gets nothing. So, what our beautiful Fern has described there is, if everyone is in the XO territory and everyone is being fine and dandy as the way they see it, then everyone is going to casually accept cheating. However it defines itself, or however it finds itself in, let's say, just for games for this time. But it seems they're suggesting that if people just keep taking for themselves, which, I mean, makes sense. That's what cheating is you're kind of doing yourself a favor and no one else. Then you get vac banned into the Steam hell that is cheating everyone. Because that's all that happens when you're vac banned in Steam, is you're in a place where everyone cheats all together. And no one wins. And the only winner is the guy with the better aimbot that's slightly better, and he doesn't actually touch his keyboard because he just moves his mouse and it's headshots all around. And no one likes that. No one. But what builds it? Is that culture then? Does that put an onus on our culture? I still say it's GoldenEye. I still say we all blame GoldenEye.
Yeah, GoldenEye makes the most sense.
You're just looking for something to blame.
I'm a human. Of course I'm looking for something to blame. Are you kidding me? What am I going to do? Blame myself?
Ridiculous. Who do you think we are? Responsible people?
Exactly.
Goodness gracious.
This isn't the responsible people talk show.
The only people who are responsible are the people who get to be held accountable. And that's definitely not me. But, no, that's, thoughts, guys? Like, come on. I think it's a pretty good point, actually.
It is, yeah.
I especially like the idea that it's kind of a shared basis. It builds, it's like I said a bit earlier, the community of cheating. It becomes like, and at the same time, I think it's also what you said, Jeremy, it's also kind of like a reward. You know what I mean? Like, if people work really hard at cheating, they can get rewarded for it. And I just popped in my head, speedrunning. Like, any percent speedrunning, right? That's working within the confines of the game.
Yeah.
And then that's glitching the game to all hell. And completing it within like 2 minutes. And it was like, what, like a 10-hour game you completed in like 5 minutes? And everyone applauds you. And I mean it. Like, the speedrunning community is fucking massive. And it's just, it's essentially like, hey, you cheated better than anyone else at this game and completed it in 2 minutes?
My favorite video for one that is there was a Spyro speedrunner like a couple years back, and all they had to do was jump off the edge and then fly slightly to the left or something, and they got to the boss battle.
That's funny. Have you ever watched Summoning Salt?
I have not.
Does documentaries on speedrunning. He's just watching it. I'm actually going to write it in chat because this guy deserves more people watching his stuff. His stuff's so well done. But yeah, that's such a funny idea that you like. It makes so much sense though. Community cheating. Oh, who would he lost? Sarah's gone.
It makes sense.
She'll be
it always
back.
Happens.
But at the same time, like, that can be so bad. I mean, there's a lot of Twitch streamers who Twitch games, right? And they get stream sniped. And I remember, like, years ago, I bet you his videos are still up. A streamer called Caparian. He's actually streaming right now, actually. There was an entire underground ring of stream snipers that would literally get on Discord, their own Discord, whenever he got on, and would purposely try to snipe and just beat him down with the best decks. And just to, like, and could you imagine, like, these people, they get really high ranked in Hearthstone because all they do is play when Caparian's playing and play against him and beat him because he has a high rank.
That's mean.
But it's a kind of cheating. But, like, we don't see it as acceptable, but, like, it goes back to Fern's point, like, it's now a community all of a sudden, right? It's a community of cheaters that all see it as acceptable, even if it's a small group. It's like trolls. And does that make it more acceptable? I don't think it does. I think if you have a community of cheaters, if anything, it kind of speaks to the gap in our... how do I say it? It kind of speaks to the gap in the way we are able to convey what we as a society feel is right and wrong. Because I think that's a huge part of it. In terms of like, there's a lot of, oh man, especially in your like late teens and 20s, there's a lot of still figuring out how to be an adult, and all that really means is like really finding out what the morally gray areas mean to you, because no one's gonna sit there and hold your hand because no one has the time because everyone's so focused on themselves, and it just it makes me wonder. And I mean, if I go with a buddy to a casino and he knows how to count cards and he goes and plays 21 and wins a bunch of money, the casino doesn't like it, but they make a movie that makes millions of dollars about his true story, and he's still like now banned from every casino, but he's super rich. I mean, that's obviously not my friend, but it's just an example. I mean, the guy cheated his way into infinite fame and wealth because he learned how to count cards in gambling. But the same breath, you have a guy in baseball who takes fucking ball steroids and hits like 300 home runs, and then we take away his World Series. Like, I know those are two very different things, and one's physical and the other one's mental, but in the end, you boil it down, are they not cheating?
And they are.
But so why celebrate the gambler and admonish the baseball player instead of what like personally I can't think of an answer for that.
I see a huge difference between the two movies, which is, why are steroids illegal? Because they're not good for you, because they could be dangerous. But why is counting cards illegal? Because then the casino doesn't make as much money.
But gambling's...
I see a huge difference between the two.
But gambling's more addictive than steroids. And gambling's is banned in a lot of places.
But that is also true.
So you tell... Yeah. No, I don't accept that argument. I think gambling... I think you're right in that steroids do damage to the body, but that's all self. That's nothing to anyone else. Your balls shrink on your own, not your buddy's balls. When you go to a casino and you know how to count cards, sure, you take money from the house, but you're also taking money from everyone else at the table. Right? The guy beside you who's just there with his like couple $1,000s to play at the casino, he doesn't know fucking better, and he's going to lose all his money to you because you can cheat and count cards. Yeah, so I know I don't accept that. Not at all. I still see it as the same thing, but we still will celebrate the gambler over the athlete.
Well, then maybe we shouldn't celebrate either.
But our society does. And I mean,
Part of
there
it might be the fact that they took the time to learn how to count cards, and instead of just injecting something into your leg or wherever.
Taking steroids is the easy route, whereas learning how to count cards is not.
That's a bullshit argument too.
That's part of it too, though.
That's a bullshit argument too, because
I completely agree.
Just because you inject fucking steroids into you doesn't mean all of a sudden you're good at whatever sport you play. You still have to be a professional. Like, you still have to be good at that sport. Especially if you're so good at a sport that you have to take steroids just to keep up. That's professional training. And although it's still bad, like, that's literally completely different. Because in gambling, you're not always sitting down at a table with professional gamblers. If you walk into any casino and you know how to count cards, and it's not even like, you're right, it is a learned skill to count cards, but there's also people that just have the brain to do it. It's just math. And I'm sure Sarah can attest that there's just some people who can do math in their heads. And as long as you can do math, I think it's like, I forget how big the numbers are. It goes up to like 100,000 or something. As long as you can do basic math in your head up to 100,000 or something, it's apparently easy. I can't. Let's just get that out of the way. I can't. But
I can't either.
But like in that movie, it's a true story too. Like, the guy just innately could do it. So all of a sudden it's an unfair advantage, and he knows it and he takes advantage of it. Well, no, he gets pointed to, but the point is, no, I don't see a difference, but society does. And
perhaps society is more likely to celebrate mental things than physical things in this kind of situation.
Is it?
That's also not true.
I don't know.
I was gonna say maybe it's more the idea of beating the system. When you're looking at a sport, it's all the same system.
I was gonna say that might be it too, because they celebrate like mobsters and stuff too, right?
Exactly.
And a lot of their glory and fame comes from how they beat the system, like prohibition.
Prohibition.
Yep. No more prohibition here. But yeah, I agree. I think a lot of it comes from admiration for beating the system. But what does that say about our society when we're giving praise to people that beat a system we put in place to keep all of us safe? Like, does that mean we have no faith in it? Does that mean that cheating, cutting corners is accepted because no one has faith in the system? Because that like, it's a very fair statement to say, and it's why there's a lot of corruption around the world, because people have no faith in their system.
Or their system just straight out cheats against them.
Yeah.
That too.
Corruption
The system
isn't
cheats
because
better.
people have no faith in the system, it's why people have no faith in their system.
But it's not. I'm not gonna say it's systemic, but I'm gonna say it's a constant thing that we're taught young. It's not okay, but as we grow up, we see that it's not okay to do it in public. Is really the whole sentence. It's not okay to do it.
Things that it's not okay to do.
They don't get caught.
It's not okay to do it when you get caught. It's not okay to do it when you steal from millions and millions of people. But if you're just fucking over yourself and, you can keep quiet about it, It's like the prison system became the world and no one's a snitch. It makes me so happy to be a villain. A villain in today's villainous society. But yeah, I don't know. It's an easy answer, but at the same time, I think it doesn't quite fit. Just because there's people who will how do I say this? How do I phrase it? Because there's people who will like using spiffing Brit as an example. There's people who will expose the system, but they do it for entertainment purposes. And in such a way, and I don't really mean that. I mean more as a way of exposing. Like, there's people whose entire jobs are about cheating the system and then going back to the system and telling them how they did it.
See, that's kind of what he does, isn't it?
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure a lot of the bugs that he points out get fixed.
Yeah. So there's a whole. So it's just. How do I? I keep saying random things. Gather my thoughts. I think what still gets me about the idea of hacking or cheating is the idea that people are supposed to know the line themselves. Even though the rules clearly state in any given moment that the line was way back at the front. Because people do have this communal sense of what's okay and what's wrong, the line's actually very blurred. And so there are people who will do more egregious things and not be punished for it, but someone who does a less egregious thing will be greatly punished. I'm basically, the best example I have is VAC bans. Sarah doesn't know what that means, but this gaming platform called Steam, they have this system called VAC, VAC, and it automatically scans your computer while you're playing Steam, and if you have any kind of cheats or illegal things or anything, it detects anything irregular, it will ban you from the gaming service. And a lot of people have been caught up in that for little things they did years ago just because there's still remnants on their computers, while there's people who are obviously egregiously cheating in various popular games and they go completely under the radar for some reason. And I mean, the solution that Steam gave was, like I said earlier, creating its own pit for all the cheaters. But the point is because the line's so blurred, because we all just accept cheating, that it becomes a bad catch-all. And it's funny because you'd think that since we all kind of just decide that, this is okay, but this isn't, you think there would be a more clear line. But then again, I'm asking a mass of people that can never make a decision on their own to make a decision, which is, I'm hearing myself talk now, and it's just, I
don't know. Have you seen one of the newer memes? Apparently, we've eliminated the name Karen. There hasn't been a new baby named Karen since November 2019.
Like Karen with a K.
Oh my
God.
God.
With a K, yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I think it's so odd to call people Karens because my mother-in-law is named Karen and she is lovely.
And one of my best friends
I know,
is named
like
Karen.
that's what's so funny is it's become such a stigma that the name has just like almost been eliminated.
It's gone.
Wow.
Be the change, name your child Karen.
It's like Justin. It's like you don't hear anyone named Justin anymore.
Yeah, that was really well.
Or Chad.
Oh yeah, like Zero.
I can't see anything wrong there.
there is also a 0.28% of the Karen population who are male.
I would say, yeah, they're like real low, yeah.
Where do you find these statistics?
Every birthday. Or everything birthday.
Imagination.
I will withhold my feelings on that. But Wikipedia, actually, funny enough, Wikipedia is in a giant cutting corner. If you think about it, it's a giant cheat. Whenever you look something up, no one ever actually checks if it's true if they go to Wikipedia. And I know people will argue to me to death that, there's people that monitor it and shit. But how do you know the person monitoring it isn't some, 35-year-old fucking idiot who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing and just feels that this is the information because they've heard it from everyone else their whole life and hasn't opened a goddamn encyclopedia? Because there have been Wikipedia things I have read that I know to be wrong, and people will argue to me because it's on Wikipedia that it's true. And I have to bullet it. God.
Well, that's stupidity.
It's also
if I wanted to move my camera,
not just one person.
I would show the audience my actual library of encyclopedias because god damn the internet. God damn the internet.
You have encyclopedias. Interesting. I was not aware of that.
Conversely, Fern says, when Ellen DeGeneres came out as gay, the name Ellen went down in popularity, and then came back in popularity until Ellen Page came out as gay in 2014. Wow.
That's kind of funny too.
It is.
That's great.
I don't know what to do with that.
You just laugh. That's kind of funny.
Well, we happily welcome our newest villain, Fern. Thank you. You are definitely welcome here. That just threw me through a loop. Back on track to cheating. Wikipedia making me angry. Have encyclopedias. All right, I'm back.
What is an
aren't always practical,
encyclopedia?
John.
Sorry, was that Sarah?
Encyclopedias just aren't always practical.
Could you imagine if they were? How much I'd love my life if encyclopedias were practical. Everyone had to carry an encyclopedia. And it could be different editions, but
Okay, but then which encyclopedia do you carry? You can't carry them. You can't
No.
carry them all the time.
That's the beauty, is you could pick your encyclopedia. It didn't matter. Everyone would be having varying encyclopedias. It would be like,
What's the point?
You could argue about random
you know what?
things.
It'd be like the internet, Sarah. There would be no point.
I feel like the internet definitely has points.
And it would
No,
be
it
just
doesn't.
like the internet. Everyone would have random bits of information that is true. It'd be provable at this point.
And people would just argue that it isn't.
And then you have everyone gets one encyclopedia. It doesn't have to be any kind, just an encyclopedia. That's the only thing you reference.
I did just get a text from someone watching that there is actually an encyclopedia app. Allegedly.
There's
Yeah, that makes sense.
you know what? The only app worth getting, let's be fair, is justlikeness.com, the likeness app.
100%.
Sorry if you have an iPhone or an iDevice. Doesn't work, but
That's gonna suck.
if you want something that's like an encyclopedia or perhaps something that will enlighten your life, let's take a break to just remember that we all love the likeness, and may the likeness be forever fruitful to you, and justlikeness.com. As for
It will change your life, people.
It will.
it really will. But yeah, I hate when people use Wikipedia against me. I wish I had an encyclopedia I could just throw at people. And
Well, I mean, if you're arguing about something, you look it up somewhere other than Wikipedia.
Can you imagine?
You double check.
No one
Are
does
people
that.
in your life really that spiritual?
Are you who
Why
are
not
people
just
in your life
bring
really that
encyclopedias around
diligent
and
that
just
you
throw
double
them?
check things? Because I want your life.
Yeah, they are.
Like, holy crap. What? People actually
Yeah.
double check and reference what they're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh my god. How different my life would be.
Clearly, you should have my life. It's
What
pretty
Seriously.
you could do is just carry encyclopedias around and throw them at people.
I was
And they would
thinking-
start to use Wikipedia.
Honestly, Grease Goblin, I was just thinking a great superpower would have been to be like, just summon encyclopedias and you can throw them at people.
That would be a pretty cool superpower.
Call yourself
What would your villain
Encyclo-Person.
name be?
Either Encyclo-Man or Encyclo-Woman.
Not Wikipedia.
I hate you.
No,
that's
Wikipedia person.
No. Wikipedia would be your arch enemy,
Yeah, probably.
right? It'd be Wiki, the evil Wiki versus Encyclopedia Man or Woman. And then I would throw my encyclopedias at them and be like, "See, facts."
Pedia person versus Wick Evil.
Ugh. You know, now that we said it, it's gonna come out as a TV show on like fucking Crave or something, and I'm gonna hate my
That would
life.
be amazing.
I'm gonna like try to sue them with this video. See, we made it up, you bastards.
You realize that more than one person can come up with the same idea.
You know,
Not allowed. That's what copyright exists for.
Yeah, exactly.
it's true.
Copyright that. Get on it.
But did you copyright this?
But you can
Hey,
cheat
that's what I'm saying,
copyright
get
too.
on it.
Hey, look at Vanilla Ice. You can cheat fucking copyright too. Speaking about right on topic. Fucking, you can take something and just change one fucking note, and all of a sudden, yeah, no, it's completely different.
Think that
And look how rich he is, working at a shoe store. I think that's where Vanilla Ice is. I'm pretty sure.
John, you could be an encyclobac.
We're past that.
I know.
We're past that. It's a good one, but we're past
trying.
that. It's you're like a whole 2 minutes ago. Sorry.
I know. I'm living in the past, man.
He's trying really hard. Don't make fun of the Grease Goblin. He's trying.
He's.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
I'm not crying. You're crying. Oh,
I'm so sorry, Grease Goblin.
but Wikipedia is the just to trail back a little. Wikipedia is the ultimate accepted form of cheating I've ever seen in my life. Because that's all. 'Cause people will never claim to know anything again. You know how rare it is to have actually someone sit there and try to think of something they forgot? I do that all the time because I like my brain. But I know so many people that as soon as I say something like, "Oh, what's going on?" "Oh, let's check Wikipedia." And it's just, how am I a
like my
villain?
brain too, but
How am I a villain? Oh man, that's a loaded question. I could spend a long time talking about.
That sounds like.
I mean, that would be watch the other VODs.
Yeah, seriously, have you watched the other VODs? Like, oh, I'm just. But in reality, it's just we're all villains because we're not good people. At least I'd like to admit it.
According to society,
I'm an
you're.
okay.
I didn't think so, but thank you for coming. Yeah, no one does. Anyway, back to topic. But I hate when people just throw Wikipedia at me. I really do, and it takes the whole. Especially when I'm debating someone about anything, whenever they tell me they're gonna go on Wikipedia and look it up, it immediately takes what I had out of it, like what interest I had in the conversation out of it, because then I know what they're gonna be looking up is just distilled. And then if they don't like the answer they get, they just ignore it. And it's ridiculous. I don't understand how people decide to do these things. But it's comes back to cutting corners, man. Like, why spend the time to do the work and actually find out and know what you're talking about, rather than not know what you're talking about and then just look up on Wikipedia or any other random media site and find one line that supports what you're talking about. It's and I don't accept that, but at the same time, I'll go into games and I'll cheat. So even I live this dichotomy that I fucking Please, someone chime in. I'm talking to myself.
Oh, I was just waiting for you to stop rambling. Yeah, I was enjoying it.
Thanks. And?
Oh, you just asked for someone to chime in. I was chiming in.
I hate
Helping
you.
you make...
God, I hate you sometimes.
And this is why he's a villain, yeah.
God damn, I hate
One of us.
you. Oh, I could slap you.
You know you love me.
I know. You dirty grease goblin. Well, I think with that, I wore out everyone's mind.
Potentially.
Yeah. Sorry, deep philosophical thought usually kills everyone. Usually kills everyone. That being said, I was C4. I was joined by Sarah Vike, Sir Jeremy, and the Great Grease Goblin. Thank everyone for watching. I had just people watching.
Consistently 5 people.
I'm super sad
That's a lot of people.
that none of you had anything better to do, but thank you for spending it here. This was the Villains Talk Show. We go Sundays and Wednesdays. Usually no more than an hour or two.
Oh, we just got another comment.
Last comment. Theoretically putting in more effort at Wikipedia because you have to put... Oh, yeah. Okay. You are correct. Theoretically, she said, Cassandra says, theoretically you have to put in more effort into Wikipedia because you have to input the cheat to see if it works. It's so true. Oh, thank you for that. And thank you all again for watching. Remember, get the app. JustLikeness.com. Get the app. Join the Faceless Legion. JustLikeness.com. We also have a YouTube channel that's getting clipped soon. You can go to that link, but there's nothing there. But, I mean, yeah. Seriously. Get the app. Get the app.
Do it.
Do it.
It's so worth it.
Changes your life.
Yeah, absolutely. It changed mine.
A new perspective.
Yeah.
I like how you all have gotten the app and I don't have an iPhone, so I don't even have it.
John!
What is it?
Ending the stream.